Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair. Now, breaking into any industry is a daunting task, and established companies wield such great power while people generally gravitate towards what is familiar to them. So, if you're an independent studio, chances are you're making low-budget films that practically no one's going to see. Unless, of course, you're just ripping off everything that's popular at the time. Such is the story of Asylum Films, who had very little success with their projects until they just so happened to produce a film titled War of the Worlds 2 around the same time that a War of the Worlds remake was being made by a bigger studio. Riding on the coattails of that movie's success, Asylum saw their best sales by far, and from that point on would continue to exploit the names of more successful films. But they didn't rip off the whole movie, story and all. I mean, that would be blatant plagiarism and copyright infringement. Instead, they would just take the title of the movie and make it slightly different, like Transmorphers, or Alien vs. Hunter, or today's movie, Invasion of the Pod People. Produced under a minimalistic budget to coincide with the release of Invasion, the latest remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Invasion of the Pod People follows a similar but different scenario, as we see a Californian city consumed by an alien threat that mimics the human form from the perspective of a modeling agency. But I don't get why Pod People is in the title. I mean, yeah, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I understand. That's very popular, you'd want to rip that off, capitalize off that. Pod People was a movie. A horrible movie. It was made infamous by Mystery Science Theater 3000. Why would you want to associate your film with that? Oh, no bother. Let's jump right in and see what a Californian modeling agency has to say about an extraterrestrial Armageddon. Opening up, we see some massive sphere dumping a trail of rocky objects into space, and wouldn't you know it, they happen to pour down on Earth, straight into California, where 90% of the film studios are located. We then meet Melissa, who... What the fuck? So, in a deathly important scene of character building, we're informed that Melissa has sex with her boyfriend.
I am going to be in so much trouble at work. Samantha is going to kill me. Didn't you hear my phone ringing all afternoon?
No, they didn't show us that. I guess that was less important to the plot. Well, following this, we get to what I guess this movie calls character introductions, but to be honest, that's assuming we can refer to these things as characters. The modeling agency banters back and forth, and everyone establishes one simple trait.
Taylor Michaels.
She sounds like a porn star.
Well, she's a porn star who's sucking the right cock.
Who is an asshole, and who is not. Yeah, that's the extent of character depth in this movie. Oh, what's that? You want goals, backstory, and motivation? Fuck, that's not important. So Melissa heads out to recruit the hot new model.
Alright, let's get this over with. I don't have time to spend all day in this crappy magazine shoot.
That's your hot new supermodel you want so bad? Her? Okay, first of all, she's definitely not supermodel material, let alone top of the line. Second, while she does have a nice girl next door look to her, the 20 pounds of makeup piled on top of it make her look downright hideous. And third...
God, what the fuck are you doing? Will you get that goddamn fan out of my face? Jesus Christ! Will you ever let up, people? Ever?
This bitch wouldn't last 5 minutes as an amateur model! You do as you are told! You endure the fan in your face and look fabulous! You do not flip off the cameraman! But the next scene introduces us to Bailey, a Botox nightmare, and also the terrifying alien of this film.
That is seriously the strangest thing I've ever seen. Is it a cactus?
I'm not sure.
It's a ginger root. They're available in any supermarket.
That was freaking weird.
It really was, wasn't it?
Bailey Rogers has been a pain in my ass since she signed. She's such a high-maintenance diva.
I know, but look how nice she just was.
Glad you informed us she used to be mean. After all, the movie didn't show us that part! Later, we see that even the bitch model has a new ginger root. How'd she get one? Pfft, silly details, not important whatsoever. And one of the amazing powers of these alien ginger roots is ninjutsu. It also looks like they kept filming while this actress realized she was in an Asylum film. But hey, a shower scene! What the fuck? It's only been 5 minutes since the sex scene! Do you really need more TNA? Sorry, I might be alone here, but I'd really like some plot! But Ginger seems to have grown into a duplicate of bitch and confronts her.
No.
Why is she killing her? I mean, in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the aliens had to kill the people to grow and perpetuate. Here, she's already grown and functioning perfectly fine. Why does she have to kill the human? But following that, we get... more fucking. Hey, thanks, movie. I forgot for a minute there that I had a penis. And this isn't just a quick clip, it goes on for a good full minute. But hey, that night, Melissa has a visit from the local nutcase. He holds her up by gunpoint and fills her in on exposition as to what's going on without any explanation as to how or why, then...
I have to stop them. Okay? I am gonna stop them. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop them.
Okay, why the fuck would you do that? If you intend on killing yourself, why break into a model agent's home to do it? If you wanted to warn people about the impending infestation, why did you warn one person who will have no reason not to think you're crazy after you blow your brains out all over her floor? But driving to work the next day, incredibly nonchalant about the whole death thing, Melissa notices the dead man alive on the street corner. Well, I guess that did fuck all to stop him. So she relaxes by buying a gun, having dinner with her friend while poking at their Chinese takeout with chopsticks they obviously have no idea how to use, and then washing it down with a little Coke. I'm having a very hard time trying to figure out for this review which scenes of this movie are relevant to talk about. As far as I can tell, it's all bullshit! We then see Bitchy Boss reminding us all that she's still a cunt as she gets drunk and makes rude calls.
Why can't you say you love me? You were such a fucking asshole!
But before long, her ginger root grows into a pod person, yet another naked woman covered in Vaseline. But finally, we see the police investigating the death from 10 minutes ago, who mentioned that the suicidal fool was friends with the Botox beast. Oh, well, that explains it. So he leaves it at that and goes away. Before long, Melissa is called to her boss's office, who is behaving unusually bubbly. After a couple confusing scene transitions, the agency's entire female staff is gathered to try and recruit supermodel Taylor.
Samantha called me a few days ago, and she sold me. I tore up my contract this morning.
Well, that was easy. Wait. I hope you at least went through the legal proceedings as well. I mean, just ripping up a piece of paper does not mean your contract is no longer binding. But as the night winds down, Melissa is also presented with a ginger root in a pot. Somehow, this leads right into a lesbian orgy. Okay, why are they fucking? As far as we've seen, this is not how the ginger root reproduces! I mean, this is supposed to be a science fiction horror film! Why is it working on porn logic? Yes, naked women look nice, but that's all this scene is offering. There's no reason behind it other than to simply have it. Not to mention this goes on for over 3 minutes. Stop fucking already, you fucking fuckers! And continuing on to the next scene, still topless, we see Melissa also has the amazing power to comfortably sleep with earrings and makeup still on.
What did I do last night?
You fucked everyone. A lot. But she decides that the ginger root has to go and discovers it's full of raspberry jam. Okay, I guess the special effects budget was twice what I thought. And oh no, they got one for Billy as well. Oh, I'm so scared. All this means is I know there's gonna be another sex scene somewhere in this movie. But Melissa has to run to meet the detective and asks Casey to cover her ass while she's gone. But Casey responds harshly.
Bribe me with a $2 fucking coffee to do your job. I don't think so.
Okay, so your boss and models were demons, and now they're angels. Casey was kind and helpful, and now she's a rude bitch. What the fuck is this, Alien Opposite Day? Yes, it's consistent, but it kind of makes the whole concept of disguising themselves as these people pointless when anyone can tell that they're not who they look like. I'd love to tell you what they say in this scene, but the audio quality is so bad I honestly can't bloody tell.
Well, I've seen that man twice from the inside my house.
Who, Zach Richardson?
Anyway, she hands the knife with raspberry jam to him, and he asks that she try and get her one of the plants for the investigation. She could get the one that Billy was just given. I mean, they're best friends and all, but come on, that's not contrived enough. Billy just throws it away. Instead, Taylor Bot shows up to Melissa's place and tries to pretend this movie has a poetic statement to make.
The transition to enlightenment and self-understanding. There are so many things that just don't matter to us. Things that you spend your entire lives worrying about.
Oh, you mean like fucking? Actually, it looked like you cared quite a lot about that one. So Taylor presents her with another ginger root shoved in a planter.
All of your questions. Just go with it. It's nature. It's evolution.
No, get that thing out of my house.
This thing belongs here.
It's ginger! It's not a freakish alien! I mean, come on, we use it in everything! Ground ginger, sliced ginger, candy ginger, ginger ale, ginger beer! I mean, come on! What the fuck made you think that this would be a good freakish alien plant that no one's ever seen? And in the next scene we have... more fucking! But hey, the cop arrived and, despite his best efforts, can't recognize a ginger root. But Melissa has no problems catching on.
Maybe when the plants grow, they become people and they look just like you and me.
Yeah! Who needs exposition or evidence when you can just pull an answer out of your ass and have it be correct anyway? So they argue about the best way to deal with this situation.
Grab your shit, we're going.
I can't. I called Louise.
Call Louise from the road, let's go.
No, let's just wait.
Who the hell would ever think that just sitting on your ass is the best thing you can do during an impending alien infestation? So Billy goes, and Melissa just waits. Guess who runs into the aliens first? Unsurprisingly, the friend Melissa waited for just so happens to be a ginger snap and spews out some exposition as to the motivation of the aliens.
Imagine a world that we all share. Oh. That there's no conflict because we're all one. There's no one person that's any better or smarter or richer than any other.
So you see, the aliens are evil, bad things because they're socialist! Quick! Call Glenn Beck! Only he can save us now! But she is saved by Sir Fucks-a-Lot and hides in the agency because this movie's budget is too small for more sets. But David's doppelganger shows up, and Melissa has to choose who to believe.
My God, you look just like me.
David, did Samantha give you one of those plants?
No, I don't know about any plant. Yes, and it smelled like shit, so I threw it in the trash.
The one who just helped you, and is not talking like a robot, that's the one you don't trust.
Shut up!
Oh my God, I'm sorry! I'm so sorry! I don't know if I just did the right thing.
You did. You made it easier for all of us.
Big surprise! She made the wrong choice. But considering how stupid of a decision that was, there's no shock that, oh, she's in trouble now. It's more just disbelief that anyone could possibly be so idiotic. So to create a clone of Melissa, they force her to touch it and set it up so it can grow. Oh, wait, hold on. All they have to do is touch it, and it'll work? Why the fuck have they gone through any of this then? They could just take their little ginger plants and go down the street poking people and then setting it up to make clones. And they don't need to kill the people. Why do they kill them after they make the clones? And why, if they are above such stations, do they have drunken orgies? Why the fuck am I still watching this? But the cop shows up and pretends to be one of the ginger gang to fool them. Well, since they have a singular mind, it's not possible to fool them this way. I mean, they would know whether or not you're one of them because they would be able to feel you. They'd know if you are one of them or not before you even enter the door.
Has it started yet?
Yes, moments away.
Good.
Not you too.
This movie doesn't have holes in the plot. Its plot is in a hole! So the detective frees Melissa, and soon Billy enters the scene. He checks her pupils to make sure she's human, and we finally get into what looks like it's going to be Act 3. They quickly find out that there is a plant nursery outside the county and figure that's where the menace is coming from. But the ladies can't handle combat, so they decide to run and leave the fighting to the man. Why? He's had so little screen time up to this point, I'm pretty sure they could still credit him as an extra. So Billy waits for Melissa, and doesn't question that the officer isn't in the car when she gets in. However, she soon gets a call from Melissa. Uh-oh.
Oh my God, Bailey, get out of the car. Hey, who are you? Hey!
Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right.
What, that's it? Well, I mean, thank God the movie's over, but come on, they didn't explain anything! What about the plant nursery? What's the cop going to do? Where are these things coming from? What are they doing? What is their point? What is any of this? None of it made any sense, and he didn't explain any of it, and then he just end! Oh, what the fuck? I mean, come on! I thought a movie with this much fucking in it would at least have a climax! And I normally don't mention credits, but for fuck's sake, this doesn't need to be 5 minutes long! Just look at it! The text is moving so slowly just to run out the clock! Well, that was Invasion of the Pod People. And I have to say, there is no way this movie was nearly as good as Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Or Pod People! Pod People at least tried, but this? The half-assed storyline comes off like it was made for a porn spoof of Invasion, not a Mockbuster straight-to-DVD ripoff project. No, I wasn't expecting it to be as good, I'm not crazy now, but I was expecting it to at least be a complete movie. The fact that the mysterious alien plant is obviously a very common Earth plant shoved upside down in a pot could be forgivable if it weren't for the fact that the alien clones made no sense on any level. The characters aren't even good enough to be stereotypical archetypes, they're just good and bad with no real individual traits to speak of. Not to mention that for some reason the agents of this modeling agency are played by far more attractive women than the models are. The fact that this movie just ends when it looks like we might finally get some idea of what the fuck is going on with the Ginger invasion is incredibly frustrating, but could be forgiven if this movie was at least entertaining. But it simply isn't. The sets are bland, the writing is devoid of any charm, the acting is boring, and more than a few shots were downright out of focus. This movie honestly has no redeeming value. It's not even cheesy bad that you can have a lot of fun with. It's far too dull and lifeless for that. Invasion of the Pod People is honestly so bad, I'd rather watch Requiem than sit through this again, netting it 1 tit out of 5. You would think with the amount of sex in this film it would at least redeem some entertainment value out of that, but no, I don't think so. I mean, the rest of the movie is so dreadfully bad it will probably have a Pavlovian effect where if you watch it enough times, you're gonna start hating breasts too! Ugh. Well, I'm sure glad that's over. Thank you all for watching. I've been Decker Shado, and remember, don't just go to film school. Finish film school! Fresh ginger is snappy.
Maybe you should think about a shotgun. It only shoots in 4 directions, north, south, east, and west.